it's time to talk about IU, one of the most trendy and popular artists today in Korea. So we're gonna break down IU's current career and why she's so popular today. Debuting in 2008, she exploded in the 2010s and became one of the most successful musicians in K-pop history. And this is pretty big because K-pop heavily favors K-pop groups, not soloists. So for IU to break that mold and become so successful is really impressive. Now in this video, we're not going to talk about the origins of IU or her beginnings. I actually made a video about that around two and a half years ago. And if you want to check that out, it's in the description below. In this video, we're going to talk about IU's current career and why she's so trendy and popular from 2018 to the present. So with that being said, let's get on to it. Let's start with her surge in popularity in 2020. IU and Suga's collaboration on the song 8. Now I'm sure as soon as the collaboration was first announced, the K-pop universe must have exploded, as fans couldn't fathom having not just one superstar, but two of the biggest stars in K-pop. The song 8 is about how IU is learning how to love herself, and that if she died, she would have no regrets and would live the same life again. It's a touching song that starts off in a sci-fi setting and weaves both live action and animation shots. The video shows just how IU is feeling at this point of her K-pop career and shows a deeper glimpse of her struggles in being a mega popular singer and turning 28 years old. I've also heard the fan theories floating out there how the music video is a tribute to Jonghyun, Guhara, and Sully, three K-pop stars who sadly took their own lives under the immense pressure of K-pop stardom. But as reasonable and heartwarming that those theories are, I'll go with the official statement on what IU says that the song is about. 8 is also a continuation of her songs which reference her age, 23, 25, and 28, in the songs 23, Palette, and now 8. Because in this song, when she talks about being 28 years old, IU talks about loneliness and wanting to be on an orange island where there's no sadness and everyone can be happy. 8 would be trending not only in Korea, but in many other Asian countries, hitting number 1 on these countries' respective music charts. The song also has a rabid fan base within K-pop fans over in the West. And 8 has been on a tear on the popular music show Inkigayo, winning the show's award for Best Song for the 3rd week in a row. In the past 10 years, IU has not only built a career for herself, but became one of the most influential female solo singers in Korean music history. To call her immensely popular in 2020 in Korea would not be an understatement. Now usually, a singer's prime can last a couple years before they sort of fade into the background. And honestly, it's understandable, as it's incredibly hard to stay relevant in the ever-changing landscape known as K-pop. And a big reason why is youth, as youth is one of the most desired and valuable commodities in the entertainment industry, as being young symbolizes trendy, cool, and what the 18 to 34 age demographic are into. I often compare K-pop stars to athletes, as athletes start off young and hit their prime a few years later, usually in their early to mid 20s, depending on the sport. K-pop stars hit their prime in their late teens to early 20s, usually tapering off soon after. A major reason for a K-pop star's downfall is because of K-pop fans' ever-changing tastes. In general, K-pop fans are very fickle and are always chasing the newest trend and attaching themselves to the next new young idols. So if IU managed to hit her prime and was really popular for say only 2 to 3 years, honestly, that's a big accomplishment. There's nothing to be ashamed of if a singer is relevant just for a few years. Nearly all K-pop stars would love to have their career where they were one of the top-selling artists for a few years before stepping aside for the new batch of young idols to take their place. With IU though, she's one of a kind. She not only stayed at the top as a tier 1 most sought after soloist in the 2010s, but actually gotten more popular as she grew older into her mid and now late 20s. And that's a rarity, as IU is 28, an age where, for most mega popular K-pop stars, their popularity starts to wane. And one of the biggest reasons why she's still thriving as she's approaching 30 is that she diversified. She looked at it from a business standpoint. She's one of the most marketable and recognized celebrities on CFs, or commercial films, known more as a ballad and singer-songwriter rather than just a K-pop idol, and has invested into her acting career. And since we mentioned acting, let's go with that next. In recent years, IU's been delving into Korean dramas, and while she first got her start back in the teen drama Dream High 1 back in 2011, from there, she fleshed out her acting career. In fact, many people today consider IU as a legitimate actress, from the foreign fans to the Korean public. In the past few years, IU is taking acting seriously, starring in some big dramas. She starred in Hotel de Luna, Persona,
My Mister, and Moon Lover's Scarlet Heart Real. Usually with K-pop turned actors, their transition to acting ends up quite horrible. The Korean public is pretty skeptical to singers trying to break into acting. It's quite difficult to become a good, let alone excellent one. Yet, in just a few years, she became a legitimate, professional actress to the Korean public rather than just an idol who just happened to do acting. She would win drama awards in 2019, showing that she's here to stay in the acting world. She would also lend her voice to one of the biggest K-dramas in recent years, Crash Landing on You, in 2020. And this is quite big, as her voice in Crash Landing would be the first time officially that she would sing in a drama OST in 9 years. The last drama song she was officially in being in 2011 with The Greatest Love. Previous songs that she did that were made into dramas, such as Bel Ami, were not included in the drama's original OST, while the song Our Happy Easter from the drama Hotel de Luna in 2019 was not released. Thus, the 9-year absence from her doing Korean drama OSTs from 2011 to 2020.
So IU is back as the face of Chamisul. And if you guys don't know what Chamisul is, it's a popular alcoholic beverage and a beverage that has one of the biggest exposures in Korea. And the big reason why is because Korea is a big drinking country. So a lot of college students as well as adults drink. And when you're drinking, you see the person's face on the soju bottle. And from 2014 to 2018, that face was IU, and she got a ton of exposure from it. And I remember when I lived in Seoul, I lived in a popular college campus called Konkuk University, and I would see her face often because I was surrounded by college students. So now, by popular demand, IU's back for a second go around.
IU's return as the Chamisul girl was felt immediately. Hita General stocks increased by 7.28% after the IU announcement, showing the massive branding attached to IU. And a major reason why being the It Chamisul girl is so big is that your face will be seen everywhere. Chamisul is a popular soju brand. Korea is a big drinking country, so naturally much alcohol will be consumed on a given day. And with downing soju, the presence of seeing IU on the bottle of every Chamisul soju will be there. Now you may be asking, isn't having a celebrity that showcases alcohol bad for children? It's a very good question too, and I've always wondered that. Since IU is a well-known celebrity that has a lot of teenage and younger fans, you would think this would be a bad idea. There's a lot at circulating that may ban future idols, singers, and actors that appeal to younger fans from endorsing alcoholic beverages. But at the time of this video recording, the law hasn't passed just yet. CFs, or commercial films, are one of the biggest indicators to tell if a celebrity is popular in Korea. Doing a lot of high-profile CFs increases a star's branding and income, and there's no better CF star in the mid-2010s than IU, where she was regarded as a CF queen. She's a household name in fashion, smartphones, electronics, clothing, beverages, and more. Now that we talked about how IU looked at K-pop, Korean music, as a business and how she diversified to stay as a top-tier artist, let's break down some of the other aspects that make her popular. One of the most trending topics on the singer just last year was the IU diet. There's a lot of K-pop fans that want to be skinny like IU, so naturally they wondered about her eating habits. And these fans would soon have their answers revealed. On various talk shows, she would finally break down her diet to stay slim, especially before shooting a new music video. In a nutshell, the diet is extreme, cutting out nearly everything, exercise thrown in. The IU diet consists of having 1 apple for breakfast, 2 sweet potatoes for lunch, and 1 protein shake for dinner. And that's it. Exercise such as running for 30 minutes, doing weights, and stretching are also incorporated. Once the diet was revealed, many K-pop fans would experiment for themselves and post their results on YouTube. And the results were mixed. Some lost a lot of weight, up to 15 to 20 pounds within a 1 to 3 month range. These K-pop YouTubers say that the first week of the IU diet is horrible, but if you stick with it, you get used to not eating as much and become a lot more encouraged by the shrinking weight. From there, these K-pop YouTubers kept off the weight, adopted healthier eating styles, and lost weight fast thanks to the IU diet. Others say that the diet is way too extreme and unhealthy, especially if you lead a busy lifestyle. These YouTubers say that by day 3 or 4, they just had to tap out and give up on the diet, that the diet is not balanced. They say that by doing the IU diet in the long run, it's not sustainable, and a much better alternative is just to eat healthier, lose weight in small increments, and live a better lifestyle. In addition to losing much needed calories and nutrients by following the IU diet, the mental stress is downright unhealthy as well. Now these K-pop diets aren't new, as K-pop stars are required to go through this. Red Velvet's Wendy, Suzy, and BTS's Jimin have similar diets. Yet with IU's stature in the K-pop scene, having her diet in the public will naturally have some K-pop fans wanting to emulate their favorite singer's habits. If it's one thing that the IU diet shows though, it's that Korean music artists go through a lot just to look good in the cutthroat K-pop industry. When IU first started her career, she was demure and reserved, not wanting to cause any trouble. Yet as she gotten older and a lot more popular, she's also gotten a lot of haters from both the fans as well as from the media. It's an unfortunate expectation for being a megastar, but unlike her earlier years, where she would let the barbs go by and try her best to ignore them, she would soon fight back. She would call these haters out that mocked her for years. One song, Beep Beep, illustrated just this and showed that IU was not going to take crap any longer. She would mention yellow journalism, call out haters in the media for crossing the line by giving them a yellow card, which is a penalty in football or soccer, alluding to how fans and media need their own yellow card when crossing the line, when attacking a celebrity too far. And in singing Beep Beep, her message of not taking crap anymore would be dressed up in a cutesy pop song, that it was nobody's business who she dates, what she's doing, or how her private life is. She would shift from her girl next door image to a more confident woman. She would really just have this I don't really care attitude and fight back. And you would see this shift in attitude in the drama Hotel de Luna, where she would play a character that just doesn't take people's insults and doesn't care who will judge her. As more people try to pry into her private life each year, she's told them that it's none of their business. And whether she lives an innocent life or leads a more adventurous one, that's really up to her. As long as she maintains professionalism with her work and with dealing with the press and fans, that's all that matters. And while she's been in a few scandals, her image overall is a lot cleaner compared to many other idols. She's maintained class throughout her career, so to let her live her private life as she sees fit should only be expected. The respect that IU garners from the Korean music industry is quite immense. From the aforementioned Suga that collaborated with her on 8, many other singers want to collaborate with the famed soloist, and I'm sure there's a line for people wanting to do so. In the past, she's collaborated with groups such as High 4 and G.O.D, as well as solo singers Jonghyun, Radi, and Zico. From many accounts, she's pretty easy to work with, her vocals work very well with the singers, and having her feature in a song will undoubtedly be a huge boost in the song's popularity. IU is also known to give a lot to charity. One of her more recent donations is giving 280 million won, or roughly about 280,000 USD, to the COVID-19 pandemic. Her donation will be used to buy hand sanitizers, masks, and to help the poor with medical and food assistance. She's also donated 1 million won to the Sokcho fires in April 2019, donated 600 million won to disadvantaged children, 250 million won to the Sewol tragedy in 2014, and 150 million won to the elderly. This brings her lifetime donations to 1.5 billion won, or approximately 1.25 million USD, an impressive amount no matter how much money you give. She's been known to donate a lot of her money throughout her career, as many see her in a positive light because of this. And I believe one major reason that she gives back so much is that she grew up poor herself. So when she became a megastar and became one of the highest earning solo singers, many applauded her when she gave back. She would also take control of her music. She became a lot more hands-on with her music during her later career. During the mid-2010s, from around 2013 to 2017, she would experiment with her music and push her musical capabilities. Her newfound improved music abilities would come to full force with her hit Palette, a catchy tune about hitting the quarter-century mark in one's life, or being 25 years old. You'll further see how her songwriting evolved in 2018's Beep Beep and 2019's Blooming. She was responsible for songwriting the entire 2019 Love Poem album, producing Blooming and A Visitor on that album. Her later 2018 and 19 releases have revolved around her growth as an artist as she grows older. She's a flexible artist that can thrive not only in K-pop, ballads, and duets, but she's also dabbled in other genres from time to time, such as EDM. I would say one of her more impressive feats is taking iconic old Korean classics from 20 to 30 years ago, covering the song in an updated song, and introducing millions of people to a classic. One song in particular, Sleepless Rainy Nights, in 2017, is a classic from the Kim Gun-mo 1992 retro hit. After IU covered the 90s retro song, many went to check out Kim Gun-mo's original song. Listeners have resonated with her increased music control and direction as she becomes more successful with full control of her career. She continues to sell millions, has her songs ranked #1 on Melon, and has garnered tens of millions of views on her music videos on YouTube. Very few K-pop stars are able to achieve complete independence from their music label or producers, but EDAM, her music label, knows that IU wields enough power to do just that. Plus, I'm sure that EDAM knows not to mess with a good thing, as IU can generate sales and hype from her music, CFs, and acting career. Now we gotta talk about her social media influence. So on the show Knowing Brother, IU explained that her nickname was Iji-gum because gum means gold in Korean. Her real name is actually Iji-un, so gum would replace the un part in her name. So to write her name, Iji-gum, on a Korean keyboard, it's DLWLRMA. So from there, her social media would just be that, the way to type her name in Korean. And it's an inside joke that her fans, known as Uena, would know. With millions of her Uena fans on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, there are throngs of IU fans all over the world. Her having this much influence shows that she's very relevant in Korean entertainment today, as any new drama, song, or TV appearance from her will instantly get a lot of attention just from her social media backing alone. While IU is currently 28 in Korean age, she'll still be one of the most iconic nation's little sisters. Now this title is normally reserved for female teens to early 20-somethings that are hugely popular in mainstream, with most of these young females being singers, actresses, TV personalities, and athletes. IU isn't in the nation's little sister range any longer, but with her popularity still very high, she resembles the popularity levels that the new trending nation's little sisters enjoy today. While IU is closer to her 30s than her youthful 20s, her age isn't stopping her. IU is showing that she'll continue to be one of Korea's most powerful celebrities in the near future.
So what did you guys think about this video and IU? I'd love to know your take in the comments below. And if you guys want real talk on K-pop journalism, then please download my free ebook below. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy, guys.